Krampus and Wartox traipsed through the woods in the hopes to ruin goodness by being no good. They both schemed with glee, bearing grins of a fiend. Oh, you're right, they're quite wrong. They meant to be mean. With their bounty of loot, the haul was never enough. What fun to make glum by stealing one's stuff. But cruel-hearted fun still requires a heart, and that's where our two scoundrels rifted apart. You see, mischief and malice is a line drawn quite thin. And Wartox told Krampus, this is where this one must end. Battling one's nature is a most vicious affair. But virtue gives vigor so that one might make a good tear. And though Wartox felt better to have helped on the whole, his fiendish hap was still cursed to ensnare this foul soul. So be careful what you wish for, a lesson worth mention. For taking that which is not yours can lead to possession.
Oh, manual pen. Whee.
Look at that.
Hi.
Look at that. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to the Rhymes with Klei
Stream.
Dev stream.
I'm Elaine. Hi again. Second time on here.
I'm Matt. This is my first time here.
Oh yeah, turn down the music.
No, we're too loud. Or not, we're too loud.
We have to speak louder.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear us?
Are our names on the right side? Yes, I am Matt. This is Elaine.
You've been here what? Only like...
I've only been at Klei like under 2 months. So
everybody seems to know you.
I'm still a newbie.
Yeah, but I only met you like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm here to show you my backgrounds, and you're here to show the animation we did for the Wartox trailer.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the.
Just gonna turn down the music a little
Even
bit
more?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to say hi?
Jan's here to say this. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Alright, hi Jen.
There we go.
His hand wasn't even saying magical.
I know, right? I was like, he
moves.
probably could have done it without anyone even noticing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're going to talk about the Wartox trailer, which both of us worked on, as well as a bunch of other awesome people. We got Steph, Anne-Marie, Sun.
Sun worked on it, right?
Yeah.
And Jeff. Was that your first trailer?
I came on right at the end of the Winona trailer. But I only did one scene on that one, and then that was basically
Oh yeah,
it.
I forgot, yeah. So I talked about that backgrounds of that scene, that trailer last time, and this time we did a totally different style, as you already know, in this children's book. I didn't know it was going to be children's book. They just told me to do watercolor backgrounds.
Yeah, see, Elaine was like the vision of the Wartox.
It was decided on
short.
one day, which is super fun.
Was it only?
Yeah, Jeff was like, we were going to do watercolor for one of this. Let's do it for this one. I was like, oh, and I have to go home. It's like, go home. I was like, okay. So I went home for a week and did all the backgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to see them?
Yeah, let's. Why don't we start going through some of these? I hear the Klei chat is really awesome, so I'm gonna try to read as much of that as I can.
You need to turn it down even more.
Is it still? It's still pretty loud. All right, I'll turn it down a bit more.
Now I can just hide behind my paintings.
Yeah, so why don't you again, all of the backgrounds were done physically, which is that the first time a trailer has used all physical?
Probably. I think so.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've painted traditionally for school all the time, but never for production, so it was like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we go scene by scene, or you guys could pick a number or something?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch
You
in
pick.
here.
Do you want to like
All
draw?
right, all right. I'm gonna grab this one.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Well, this is the pan you already
That was like
saw.
that's the first
I'll just
shot.
go like it. Draw background.
Look at and you like pumped out so many of these so quickly too.
I'll show you guys the process of how I got here. It's actually took a bit.
Each one of these probably would have taken me like a whole week at least.
Now you want to paint one later?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just give me a week and it should be fine.
This is one of the first ones I did. It's the scene that your animation was on.
Yeah, all the
everyone-
West stuff.
Yeah. And I had to paint it again because I realized there was a pan afterwards. But I still wanted to
Oh,
use
you
this
actually painted
oval.
it again.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
know
there's
that.
2 of them. They're different. But I don't know. But I used this one for the close-up because it's slightly bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, we still animated in Flash, but we wanted to give it a little bit of a different feel, so that's why we treated this one a little bit differently.
I'm hiding myself.
And I'm like trying to peek through.
Oh, you want to see them? Yeah, just go through these real quick, and then I could talk about how I made them. If you guys have any questions for me, please send them along so I know what you guys want.
We had the question, which one was the main animator on Krampus? Elaine just did the backgrounds. I animated, but everyone kind of takes the workload equally. So like I grabbed a bunch of scenes, Steph grabbed a bunch, Sun grabbed a bunch. So everyone kind of, you would claim a chunk and then you just start from scratch and follow it right through to the end.
So when I did these backgrounds, because it's traditional, I didn't actually have the storyboards to reference as much. So I bought a lot of them.
Did you work on more than one background at a time?
I did. It was... Oh, I should have brought those pictures. Like
Do you have
my
like
setup at
any
home.
work in progress stuff? I guess it's all just like you kind of went right into it.
I was gonna do that. So I taped 2 paintings. The small ones I could do 2 at the same time, so I taped them like this. While the one is drying, I would start on the second one.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually, that's a good idea. Here, let
Okay.
me talk. I guess you've already kind of gone through.
I've gone through most of
It was
them.
beautiful.
Okay, let's just show the last one. That's a color card.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Also
here,
amazing.
You can put this one.
All right, here we go. This one, oh my gosh, this is like a full pan.
Oh, you're gonna do the pan?
Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, you can get it. Is that the baby beefalo one?
Yes, that is a baby beefalo theme. You know, like traditional animations back in the... I don't know when animation started. They do pan
In the
like with
olden days?
In the olden days. They
Yeah,
do
they would
pan
have like
and,
a camera, right?
Yeah.
That
And
would,
your animation would be
like,
on top.
move it like a little bit each time.
Yeah, exactly. These would be too small for that, I think, because those olden days, they
Yeah.
don't have scanners.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So this, I scanned them to 300%. There's a question from Jeripo. Why don't we draw the backgrounds on computer? Because sometimes you don't get the same kind of effects on the computer, especially watercolor. There's a lot of accidents that happen with watercolor, and that's what I love about it, traditional media.
Yeah, you can always, I guess, yeah, like when you're doing it digitally, you can try to, I mean, lots of people do try to emulate like the look of
Yeah.
something watercolor, but I mean, this has got like so much like natural texture in it too, and yeah, like you said, you kind of like the happy mistakes that, yeah, happy accidents
Yes.
that kind of bring it all together.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to do it for production, so that's why it's only for this short trailer, and it's hard to do.
Why is working traditionally more fun for you?
Because you could get paint on your fingers, and like you watch the.
Do you
paint
like the
flow.
hands-on kind of stuff?
Yeah, I do. It's really fun. Just like smudge around the paint, and also you stare at the computer all day, and it's a good time to go home and. Do you draw in sketchbook still?
I try to. I'm like, I still like whenever I'm like even just like sketching, I still like I get like the like undo twitch. I'm like, oh, I just want to like undo that last line,
Yeah.
but I can't, and it's just like, oh, I just gotta. So I've been trying to draw in pen. So it's like, nope, no matter what you do, you're committed now. There's no. I
yeah.
found that's better because when it's pencil, I'll still try to like go in and like
Yeah.
erase everything, and then by the end, it's just like a giant mess.
I've been drawing with pencil so long that I don't remember what eraser is.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't need an
it's
eraser.
annoying to erase now, but I understand. Yeah.
Stram Punch asks, what scanner did you use to scan those
It
pieces?
was something 500. Epson 500. Epson 500. It's a small scanner that's only 8.5 by 11. And
Oh, were you like scanning? How did you?
yeah, so this is the biggest background, the final
Only
one. I'll show
8.5
you
by
guys.
11?
So this is 8.5 by 11. I'd have to scan it like in chunks. And then there's a really cool method in Photoshop where, if you want to know, you can stitch it all together automatically.
Oh, because I would have been like pixel pushing it. Like,
I
it's
used
gotta
to.
be close.
I used to before I knew that function, which is I think file automate
Mhm.
photo merge. File auto
Oh, there's actually-
photo merge.
Okay,
It merges
cool.
all of them, stitch it up for me together.
Do you want to like jump into some of the digital
Yeah.
stuff? and
Oh,
kinda
actually, I want to talk
show-
about this a little bit more. Oh, yeah, can we show the animatic? Then I will.
Yeah,
I will
sure.
explain why this one was hard to do.
So before we kind of jump more into everything, we're just going to show you guys the animatic, which is kind of like all the storyboards put together to just kind of give everyone the idea and timing.
And this is what we get before we start everything.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to pull it up. So we're just going to play through this quickly.
Tip top, tip.
As you can see, it's pretty rough, but it gets the idea across.
Jeff did this what, in a day again? Or-
Yeah, this is Jeff kind of. He just pumps stuff out like it's nobody's business.
I love that drawing.
The Wilson drawings are like pretty much perfectly on model.
Did you do this thing?
Yeah, I actually didn't have to like think at all. It's like, oh yeah, the expression is exactly right there.
Yeah. Oh, this Wes is so cute.
Yeah,
This is off model, but he's got like cat whiskers.
I know he's adorable. He's just getting bullied. It's so sad. And I know Jeff does. There's like a lot of different programs that people use to do storyboards, but these ones were all done in Flash, which also just makes it easier when we're animating because we just like can grab these files and just work directly on top of them.
How close do you stay to the timing of the keys?
Thankfully these boards are like seem to be relatively loose timing wise, so
Right.
like we'll try to get the idea of it, but we definitely push and pull it a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah. Oh man.
Because
There's
for
the
me, I would just
people
like
level.
copy it directly. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, this key got.
It's like some of the shows I've worked on. I mean, like in the past, some shows like so particular about like you have to follow the board time, the animatic timing exactly, and then some are just like, oh, it's just an interpretation. Do whatever you want. Just kind of use it as a rough. So it is always like kind of figuring it out. This last shot is so good. He's like
Yeah, it was so
bounding
much fun.
away. Yeah.
I want to show you this scene of that last background you just saw. Okay, so if you start looking at it, scene 32 starts here, and then it somehow rotates
this one?
around. We'll switch to camera view.
Okay.
Rotate around and around until this. It's all the same scene, and it's like
It's
holy
like a
shit.
big 3D camera
Oh, sorry, I
move.
swore, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to. Wait, which one is it?
The camera. Yeah. So that's this one here, which as you can see, obviously, is just a 2D image.
So I have to use my imagination and be like, this is what the camera storyboard is. You wanna hold this?
Yeah,
one?
yeah, okay, I'll do this.
And then I was like, okay, they're here. The scene is happening here, and then Krampus goes all the way up, and then he goes down, and then somehow it rotates. Somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Here we
this
go.
is. I learned how to do this back in animation school, where you drew layout fields.
Yeah, I don't know. I've forgotten all of that from school.
I pretty much forgotten about it until I started doing this one.
Normally you can kind of like just cheat a lot with a background if you need to do like a 3D camera, but yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, why don't you jump into some of these? I'm gonna be Elaine. You're gonna be Matt.
Oh, I feel like all of a sudden I would just grow a
Yeah,
beard. Yeah.
looks really nice.
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
I'm feeling a little bit heavy on my chin.
So, because of the camera pan to the right a lot, I made sure they had enough content. So this is all cheated. It's all the same background, but I cheated it by extending it further.
Body Lord asks, how do you decide what size paper to use? Is it from the smallest fielding, then you scale upwards?
I do. Because I didn't have enough big paper, I don't want to paint even bigger.
Right.
So the 1920 by 1080 is pretty small. but I just scanned it to 600 resolution to make sure I have enough pixels. So that's like how you do traditional layouts too.
I really love and we said it before, but like the like watercolor, the like paper texture on the back. Normally when we need to like try to emulate that look, we just like have to apply it in like After Effects or something.
Do you want to know how I've cheated this?
Yes. Show me the ways. I'm taking notes mentally.
It's oh, I could explain it in the other. We can start with scene 1.
I'm just gonna put an awesome BG here since we have
the
watercolor cam.
I will be painting live in a bit. Oh, I should go through this fast.
We're gonna get some live painting up in here.
So this is what I get originally after I scan it. It's kind of washed out. My original painting is not, but this is what happens when you scan it. And then I had to separate into sky, underlay tree, and hill. It's like it's one flat
how
background,
did you?
Right? Okay.
I actually am very curious. I didn't know you had to do that. Oh, right, because you have like overlays and underlays.
Yeah. So like,
sorry,
I am
guys.
gonna take. It's,
there we go.
there
It was upside down. There we go.
Yeah, there's a question for you later.
Oh. Yeah. Somebody asked what my favorite scene was to animate and why, and which was the most challenging and why. And I will answer that when we get to the animation portion.
I just cut out the hill, take it out, and find a good brush.
Oh, so did you manually do all this?
A little bit, a better brush than this one. It's more watercolor texture, maybe. Yeah, cut it out. But then the sky behind it will not have as much content as this.
Yeah.
So something you could do is content aware fail. Content aware. Say that I'm gonna take it. I want this tree out of here, right? So I cut this. I'm gonna make a copy of this first.
I am learning new things. I hope you guys are too.
I don't remember the shortcut.
Shift F5.
You knew it!
No, May gave me the answer.
Oh,
thank you, May.
I was like, how did you know this?
I'm actually secretly an expert at all this.
If you don't like
and I'm
shortcuts,
not learning anything.
It's just edit, fill. Usually it's set to foreground color. I guess content aware fill.
There we go.
Let's see, it'll do its magic this time. One tree is gone. You could keep on doing that.
Oh my gosh. It's like magic.
I only found out this recently.
When I've done stuff like this, I've always like tried to copy like other chunks and like bring them in and then like paint around the edges and like blur it to make it look. This is much nicer.
This is doable too. I could just do that.
Yeah.
And erase the edges a little bit. That's the old way to do it.
Yeah, that's
but this
how
is like
I
a
was
Photoshop thing. I use this quite a lot for this short, particularly just to get rid of little dots here and there.
Oh yeah.
So I did.
You got rid of the happy accidents?
I'm sorry. Happy
Jeez, such a perfectionist.
Just the little dots. Sky underlay. Let's bring it all back. I did add line to these backgrounds afterwards because I thought my watercolors were a little bit too abstract for production sense. And there's
Oh yeah.
And there's this is your scene.
Yeah. Poor Wilson.
So in the traditional way where we did the fields for each of the backgrounds where the camera would be, I do this digitally now. So this is, I had to pay attention to where the characters might go later, which is off. Remember you having to move the characters because the boards were here and you animated a little crevice going here. But I had to, I drew my tree over there.
In this case, it was easier to adjust the animation. Like I know like a lot of times in like TV production and stuff, like once the backgrounds are in, you can still kind of get them changed to help with animation, but when you're doing everything traditionally, that's a little bit harder to just like, yeah, let's just move the tree over a couple inches.
But I did do a lot of that. This is actually original.
Oh, okay.
Things moved.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, it was way easier for you to tell me to do that, but there is each individual tree here for sure that I cut out just so the characters could go behind. So that's how I did that. And the lines are just a little pencil line.
How long would you say from start to finish it would take you to do any one of these? You know, the ones with not like the color cards, but like a full background like this.
Painting?
Yeah.
Maybe 1 to 2 hours. I did what?
1 to 2 hours?
It was 30 in like a week. I don't know. Because it's watercolor. Once you get used to it, it's actually pretty fast.
That's insane. Yeah, somebody asked who did the Krampus twisted smile, and that was Steph. She's in chat. Lilliputian Life. Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it. Steph was also one of the animators, and she did that creepy smile that Krampus does.
So for this scene, I remember having to. This is my original painting, but without the lines.
So you added all the lines in
afterwards. Just to save on production. So I did cheat a little bit. I can do it with ink pen, but that would take too long.
Yeah.
And I can't change it, so this at least have some leeway.
For sure.
And I had to dull it because Jeff liked things more dull.
Right.
For Don't Starve, it's a very dark world.
Yes, everything. It is a scary place.
Yeah. So these are just little filters to bring it all together.
You ever get that question where it's like, if you could exist in any game universe, which one would you live in? And the answer is never Don't Starve.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Do you have one in mind? Do you know what game universe you would live in? If you could choose from anything?
Stardew Valley?
That's nice. That's a good pick. I feel like that's a nice...
Animal Crossing, where there's like little animal creatures as my neighbors.
And they could all be your buddies?
Yeah.
But then like,
what
if you had...
when they move away.
Exactly, right?
Oh, no, okay.
You'd have to be careful. You'd have to be friends with all of them all the time.
That's a hard question. Well, do you know your answer?
I don't know. I should have probably thought about this before I started spewing it out. I feel like something like that would be nice. Just something, maybe like... I just want to copy your answer. Stardew Valley does sound really nice.
Could farm every day.
Yeah.
I added little flowers afterwards.
May asks, how do you know when your painting is finished? Looking back after, are there some things that bother you?
For sure. There's always things that bother me. I know. This is your wallpaper, May? No, one of the backgrounds is your wallpaper. There's always like mistakes. Like the sky could be better for here. Like I wish it was a more cloudy sky.
Okay.
Or it's done when either you run out of time or
again, you're saying you're pumping out one of these every like hour or two. That's
when it's good enough.
It is what it is.
This will take. Oh, for watercolor for this one, it was also had to be done some point because the paper is gonna wear out soon.
Yeah.
Right. And so I did the extension of the sky by cutting this piece of sky and then moving over.
Reset player, your sky's good. I was thinking that too. She's like, yeah, you know how the sky isn't, the best. So I'm like, yeah, it's not the best for sure. I totally know what you're talking about.
I want to show off my watercolor stuff and then you can talk about your animation.
Cool, yeah.
Alright, switch back.
Switcheroo!
Am I talking too fast?
No, it's great.
I want to show you some beginnings of everything where in each production you get some time to do pre-production, but I didn't have too much time, so this is my concept art page. It's a very small
This
page.
is great. You got like little color keys.
Yeah, this one was my favorite, so this final was close to this. And then Jeff's like, yes, go for that. And the rest of these, like the very first one, they're not very good, and they knew it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's different from the final, but I did use this sheet to help me test
These are
out
great.
colors.
You even got like little palettes in here.
Yeah, this is Wes's scene, and this is the rest of the trailer.
Did you plan out like the color palette for the whole thing kind of before, like as you were going?
As I was going, I started doing the key background, and then the rest of them followed.
Cool.
And I use...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll show you my watercolor. I'll be showing you all my tools. I got a whole bunch of
what do we got in here?
goodies. And then, okay, this is one of the earlier
Oh my
tests.
gosh! That's just a test?
Yeah, I did the lines on this one directly, and it got too dark. I don't know. I like the other looks more. This is the paper was a hot press.
Hot press.
The one that's smoother, it didn't take my colors as well, so I ended up changing paper, which thanks to May. So this is another test where it seeped out a bit too much.
Yeah.
I wanted that blooming effect so that the line on top would contrast.
That's awesome.
But this one, too much. So if it was anything, there's always a lot of mistakes and trials and error. Is that the word?
Yeah, trial and error.
Trial and error.
I guess you kind of have to when you're working traditionally.
Yeah. So this is my setup at home, but a little bit bigger cutting board, so I could measure the ratio right off the bat. So a painting of this show is 16 by 9 ratio.
16 by
So
9.
my paintings were usually a smaller ratio of that in inches, and I don't really know. So
Right.
I would take a piece of paper, put it on here, and tape it down. So I'm gonna do that while you talk about animation. Oh, I only have like
Cool.
30 minutes to do a painting. Like,
Yeah,
could
I
do
know.
this.
You're no pressure, right? So
Yeah.
Elaine is going to be painting kind of as I talk about animation, but we will definitely be checking in with her progress. Do you know what you're going to be doing?
No.
Should we
Do you have?
put it to the chat, maybe?
Yes. What should I paint?
Are you thinking like
Background
a
wise.
background?
Yeah, not character. Well, you can draw the characters.
All right. What do you guys think Elaine should paint?
Preferably a don't starve together sort of world themey thing. I could do like more trees like the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
This is my handy brush holder.
Maze face. Ooh, snow forest, a swamp,
Ooh, sorry.
throne. Oh my gosh, there's so many pond. I guess we haven't seen.
Swamp and pond similar.
Yeah.
That could kill two birds with one.
Could do that. All right,
A swampy
seen a lot of that.
time of the day dawn.
All right, yeah, maybe let's a pond, a pond in a swamp. Can you do something like that?
Isn't swamp a pond?
I guess it is kind of like a swamp is like kind of just like a nasty pond, right?
Okay, I'll try something. I'll try something.
All right. Well, while she's doing that, we're gonna jump back over here. Gonna jump into Flash. I'm just gonna be talking a little bit about the animation and how we went for a little bit. If you've seen the other trailers, we definitely went for a different style on this one, which means that things had to be set up in a different way. So this is one of the scenes I did with Wes. Sorry, just a little bit set up a little bit differently. With Wes getting startled in the woods. I'm just gonna play it through.
Was this your favorite scene to animate on?
I don't know. This one was like so long that I think by the end I was like ready to be done with it. It was definitely one of the ones I was most excited for at the start. But this one definitely like took me a while.
I love the effect of the.
The like wobble.
Yeah. Did you think of that?
I was
water?
actually like I looked up so much like old like Roadrunner, like old cartoons where they always get whacked and then they do like the wobble.
Oh, they do.
So I was trying to do something like that.
Do you stop the old cartoons and look at it frame by
Oh
frame?
yeah, I was like,
and see-
thankfully YouTube, you can do that nowadays since everything's online. Oh yeah, we got a little swamp reference here. But yeah, so as you guys may or may not know, oh here we go. Most animation starts with like a rough or like a posing pass. So this is where you kind of just get in the important stuff, kind of hit all those beats. This is where like timing, you kind of figure out where everything's gonna be. Oh, it's going on forever. So again, like a lot of this information, I kind of knew how I wanted the bag to feel as it kind of comes over his shoulder, so I focused on that first, and his little run, and then yeah, again, pretty straightforward. The thankfully with Wes, when he's snoozing over here, there was 2 other scenes where he's snoozing, so I could just do it once and then copy it into all these other scenes. So, sorry, one sec. Alright, so anyway, this is kind of. I just turned it down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
The music is still loud.
Probably not loud enough.
Maybe it's because we're using a different program. May asks if I would rather work on a short scene with multiple characters or a long scene with one character. Ooh, that is tough. I'm not.
Both of them would take a long time, and that's toughest part, animation taking.
Yeah, exactly. If they took the same amount of time, but there was more, I feel like it depends on my mood. The more characters you add to a scene, just inevitably like add it or increase the difficulty. So like this scene took me, even though there's only 3 characters, this scene only took me a couple days. especially since like the balloons were kind of moving a little bit, and I added like a little bit of a breathing animation on Wes. So we're just gonna jump into the next stage here, which is like kind of still rough, but with some in-betweens. Again, just plotting stuff out a little bit more. Poor Wes. As you can see in the rough stage, like if stuff isn't moving, for example, Wes's body here, I just would literally just not draw it in those frames and come back to it and clean up. It's basically just like getting down the really important details. Even here, Wartox's body doesn't move when he puts the flower crown away, so just leave it. It just kind of helps with speed, especially since we're going to be going in later to kind of tighten everything up. Well, not super tight because it's Don't Starve, but you know, that just kind of makes things go a little bit go a little bit quicker. So
this Krampus's butt is a circle. Perfect.
Yeah, his butt is just. I'm just like he's kind of got like a little bit of a belly. So you know, I definitely use that as his center of gravity.
Morgan Shendrell asks, how much are builds used for the clean animation process?
So this is kind of something, so for builds, we don't have any, since we don't use the builds from the actual game, because those are kind of like more stylized and, you know, compressed a little bit. A lot of these are full redraws. We definitely use tweens and stuff every once in a while, and we can kind of cheat. Or if something's more or less staying the same, you can kind of get away with just using symbols or like kind of jerry-rigging a build to suit the animation. I'm just going to jump ahead quickly. One of these examples is a scene that Steph did, which is the awesome and super cute baby beefalo.
Which is now a GIF.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a GIF of that. Just forever wagging.
Yeah. It's
just so cute. Can I zoom in? Can I zoom in? I can't zoom in.
You can zoom in on the tail. We can watch it and find
Yeah, just like just watch it forever, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so sorry, to answer the question about builds. So I know Steph kind of does this a little bit. Let me just dig into these files. So she, to keep kind of the head on model and keep everything consistent and get the rotations all right, she'll do her head animation inside a symbol like here. Again, I don't think these are symbols. Oh, they are symbols. Okay, yeah, so this is kind of like what a build would be. But it wasn't like provided to her. She definitely like built this as she was animating the scene. This little head spin is so good.
And no, Mine's Patch, I have not used soy sauce as pain.
Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Maybe.
That would taste too good. I might eat my
Yeah, you might be like smelling it the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just getting hungry.
I've tried with coffee.
Really?
By accident, perhaps dipping into coffee, and I was like, I'm just gonna paint with it.
You just might as well go with the flow at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, like definitely we use builds where we can, but as you can see, like a lot of this is hand drawn. So yeah, Steph did an awesome. If we go back to her very first version, she did this like super cute, very rough kind of version. Again, this is where a lot of the scenes. This is what a lot of the scenes kind of look like when we're first starting out on them, which is just, you know, getting shapes and volumes and timing and all that kind of stuff down. Again, like this is basically like you totally understand what's going on just from this action. You don't. The butterfly is in there somewhere, but you didn't need the butterfly. You don't need the butterfly yet.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So, just gonna jump back into this. The reason I wanted to show this scene is because of the way that we wanted to give everything that watercolor look. Oops, hold on. So this is kind of the end product in Flash, but how do I explain this? So we wanted the line and the color to have different effects in post in when we were comping everything together. So the line had a certain treatment on it and the color had a certain treatment on it, which actually made things, believe it or not, take quite a bit longer because normally, but it looks so good. But normally we would just like fill in the color, and you just be like, just go frame to frame and just fill in the color. But we actually had to like paint, or I don't know, there was different ways to do it, but we had to like paint, or I was painting underneath the line, which it takes a while. And because of that, we also had to separate everything into like a whole bunch of layers. And we had like a shadow layer on top, as you can see with like Wes and all the other characters. There was definitely like an animated shadow, which is more than we dealt with on some of the other shorts. So everything was kind of separated into these different chunks. Let me see if I can pull up an example. So like here we got like Wes's color layer, again all kind of blobbed together. And then on top of that we would have a shadow, and we animated the shadow on top of that. Thankfully, the way I did this scene, I just kind of did these like blobby shadows, and then I used the color layer as a mask on top, so it just kind of clipped it to...
How did you do the white of the West on the canvases?
The white? Oh, like you mean this stuff here?
Yeah.
I think that was just in the color layer. There wasn't anything too
put
fancy
a different,
about it.
darker background behind so you can see.
Originally, oh yeah. So I had.
I can't see.
You can change like the stage color here, so a lot of the time I was like
what?
changing just like the background, just temporarily.
Wes is like a party.
It's like, all right, now I can actually see what's going on.
Right.
And then on top of that, we added the line. So that was kind of like, that was the treatment in Flash. And then I think I have the final version here. MF99K asks if we're using CC Animate 2019, which I believe it is 2019. Have we dealt with any bugs, and if so, how did we get around them? There's definitely been like Flash can be crashy at times. I don't think there have been any bugs that we've sorted out, but every once in a while it'll crash, and we're like, oh, hopefully we just didn't lose that much. But other than that, it's been pretty good. I haven't dealt with anything too bad.
Flash just always crashes.
Yeah, Flash has been crashing since the olden days of Flash for like no reason. You're just like, oh, there it is. It just went.
Yeah.
They added this like recover feature where it'll kind of autosave. Yeah, exactly. Somebody mentioned it. So it's got an autosave feature, which has definitely saved my butt a couple times. Because as it's crashing, you're like, oh my god, it's crashing, and then it boots up and it's like, oh, it managed to recover a chunk of your scenes. Anyway, so back to animation. I guess I'll just go through a couple of the other scenes. Oh wait, no, I wanted to show what a shot looked like when it was all done. Here we go, just gonna pull that up. So we did apply a lot of treatment after Flash to kind of... Oh no, what happened? Oh, it's auto-playing. So I'm just gonna, pause at a frame here. So if you look closely, you can kind of see we shifted the color off a little bit. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about concept art. We will get to that. So we shifted the color off a little bit, and we kind of multiplied the layers. The line, we added a little bit of treatment on. I guess it wasn't actually that much. We kind of just we needed everything separate because they all had different applications.
And to design that, when I was doing the background, I faked that effect.
Yeah.
In Photoshop first.
We should have brought
That's
that.
right there.
Oh, you have it?
That's right there. So I took one of your drawings.
Oh, you have it. Oh yeah. So this was kind of like this was like
the test.
This was like concept-y in a way.
We didn't end up doing the shadows as detailed because that would
Right.
take too long, but I would.
But this was definitely like the look we were going for. That you
Right.
put this together, right?
Yeah, something about watercolor animation tells me it's off the line.
Yeah, it's just like kind of rough.
Yeah.
And it's just like kind of close.
So that's the reference, and we try to imitate it where we can in Flash.
Yeah. Why don't we? I'm just gonna jump over to the watercolor camera for a
gosh.
second.
Nothing is here yet.
We're gonna judge you
Oh my
and look at this
gosh.
awesome artwork. It already kind of looks
Like a
swamp?
swamp?
Swampy. Yeah.
It's just not drying
Kind of
fast
like
enough.
it's like spotty.
I can't-
Oh yeah, I guess it is watercolor. You have to like wait for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's why I have two. That's why I usually have two paintings going on at the same time.
You can kind of like jump back and
I
forth.
want to add the tree in it, but it's not dry for me enough to add. So all about watercolor is all about just knowing what the paint's doing. Like I know if I add more water here, it's gonna bloom badly.
Oh, really?
Or like if I have more opaque paint, it won't bloom as much.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about knowing the balance.
I don't think I would know the balance. I would just like use.
Well, it's fun experience, and yeah.
Do you watercolor? I've seen like you have a little notebook where you've been doing watercolors. Is that something you've been doing more recently?
No, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and May used to.
Mm-hmm.
We go out during lunch and paint.
That's good.
Yeah.
You getting that practice in?
Yeah.
All right,
Nothing
so
happening here.
I'm just gonna. Oh, here we go. Do you have a personal art account somewhere, Elaine? Why don't you plug yourself?
I'm called Tiny Clover
Tiny Clover on Instagram,
on Instagram.
Twitter.
Instagram doesn't have a dot in between. I mean, Instagram has a dot in between. Tiny.clovers.
Tiny.clovers.
Yeah. Tiny Clovers.
Sweet. Yeah, go check her stuff out. It looks freaking awesome. Have you posted any watercolor stuff there?
I have all these backgrounds were posted there. So
Yeah. So I think you can get like the high res ones there or something.
Looks like a cloudy day.
Yeah, I guess it could kind of be like clouds, right?
Yeah.
We'll get. I don't know.
I'll decide what it is.
Yeah,
after.
just wait and see.
Yeah.
It'll look good. I mean, it already looks good. That
Okay.
sounded really negative. I'm slapping myself a little bit here. All right. Just gonna jump back over to the Cintiq. If it's okay with you guys, we're gonna jump into a couple of the other scenes. This one is one of my favorites. This was done by Jeff. It's the transformation right at the end. Okay.
Wait, that's only Krampus.
Oh yeah. Oh, these are off. Oh, there we
there
go.
we go.
Yeah, it's even got the temp background in there. So this.
Resolution pixel beauty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the expressions on that. Oh yeah.
Can we go frame by frame on the little fur change?
Mm-hmm. Let's dig into it.
How were Tots transformed?
It sprouts from his eyes. It's like
Okay.
spreading.
And
Oh,
this gets
yeah.
hairier. Is he fluffier?
It looks like he gets a little bit fluffier. And that tail. When does the tail puff out?
Oh, yeah. In one frame? Oh, 2 frames.
A nice. It's got like all that nice little
Yeah.
curve to it.
It's got bones in there.
So, unfortunately, there's no. I kind of dug into it a little bit early. There's no progress versions of this, so we only get to look at the beautiful final one. But I feel like Jeff is when he animates, it's just like he's like a 3D printer. Like he already knows.
3D printer?
Yeah, like he knows exactly what it's gonna look like at the end, and he just like and he goes down and each frame is just like perfect. There's no like roughing out stage. He just like manages to like get the exact look of every frame. He's just like frame to frame. He just like machines his way down. This is the only version I've seen, so technically there's no proof that that's not the case.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, I love these
yeah.
expressions.
The pop.
Oh,
That
right
one.
into that. We got a little smear in there.
Oh, nice. That's like
Look
a
at
smile. I like
that.
that.
He looks so happy here. Right into that. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, did he cough a little bit?
Yeah, he like kind of, he ate the soul a little bit too
There's a
fast.
skeleton.
Yeah, look at it. It's like a little skull forming.
I
Oh,
didn't
so
notice that
spooky.
before.
Yeah. Yeah, basically the see, he did there's like always a 3D shot in pretty much all of these trailers, and it's usually done by Jeff. Usually.
Well, he also boarded them, so
He
has
also
to
boarded
animate
them, so it's like, you know what, you got to take care of it. That's a good one. Let's jump into another scene. This one was done by Anne-Marie. I don't know if there's any progress stuff in here, but let's take a look at it. She did this tug of war scene.
But we're talking so
Look at it. I know, right? I feel so bad for him. He's like so small.
Yeah, he's trying so hard.
Yeah, look at the look on his face right here. Just true grit. Yeah. Krampus is just being a bully. So again,
Would you animate with the camera move?
Yeah,
in
so
mind or just with it?
normally I do. I'll kind of like do the key posing stage.
Yeah.
And then after kind of everything's plotted out, then I'll add in the camera move.
Just so you don't have to do like extra animation
Yeah,
when
just
it's already out of frame?
I don't know how I would do it if it again was like a 3D crazy spin. Maybe the same way, just like slower.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that.
Because with backgrounds, I often do things just I have to do everything, even though they're blocked by animation.
Oh, that's a good point.
So for animation, do you do everything even if it's not in camera?
I feel like sometimes, like I used to definitely do that, like animate stuff off screen.
Yeah.
But I think I've gotten lazier and lazier. It's just like, okay, if it doesn't show on screen, then it's done.
It's not better.
Maybe that's what I'd like to tell myself. Like I used to, like if there was a character acting. I'm trying to see where I am on the camera.
Here.
Yeah, if there was like a character acting from like the waist up.
I should put you on camera. Move.
Yeah, maybe here.
You're gonna act.
I'm gonna act
You're
this
gonna
out.
act.
So like I'm here and I'm like pretend I'm standing up right now and I'm acting like, hey, this is me. I used to like, and I would like move around a bunch and then I would animate the legs at least like roughly,
Right.
so I could keep in mind like where everything was planted.
Right, that makes sense.
Which so it usually made my scenes look better at the time, and maybe it still would, but eventually I just like I'll still kind of do it, but it will be like one line is like a leg.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's like, it's close enough.
I think you got better senses now or something.
Hopefully it's okay. Let's see, what do we got? The last scene I kind of brought over here is one of Sun's scenes. This is another one of my favorites. Where like goes demon mode and like the eyes like light up. This is like one of my favorite shots in the whole thing. Just like you can really feel. Where's the hotkeys are different. I love that you can feel the swirl on these effects. It's like rotating around, and then it just like launches off. I guess without the glow, it kind of looks like his eyes are bleeding.
Oh no!
But
we were deciding on the color at one point. I was like, oh, that looks like blood.
looks like blood, right?
But
What is the final? Here, I'm just gonna pull up the
there's a glow.
there is a glow, right? Oh no.
Well, it's similar to this one. There's that glow and the transparency.
Maybe I better turn that off. Oh, I'm opening the wrong scene. That's why. Warthog's Rage. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So there's like. Oh no. I'm ruining everything. Well, we saw it once, guys. Oh yeah. Oh no, I can't pause it in time. I'm too slow. One more time. There we go. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a glow, so it doesn't quite look like blood.
Someone told me his soul is red or something.
He has a red soul. Yeah, well, I've seen like the souls in game are red.
Oh, right. It was because of the game.
I wish we could like pull those up, but I don't know where they are. So that's that. Let's see.
I'm going for it. I'm adding a tree.
All right, I'm jumping over to the watercolor cam. We're gonna see.
Do you want to scroll up so I can see what that tree looks like?
Yeah, we've got reference over here.
Yeah.
It's like kind of prickly and nasty looking.
So I didn't plan this beforehand at all, so I have no idea.
Oh yeah. This scares me.
Oh, I'm scared too.
Like the finality, is that a word, of these lines?
I think it's a word. So I'm imagining this to be a down shot on the swamp with the trees in the foreground.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's the ragtime part of the show, but we can't hear the ragtime. Where's May? May, come do the ragtime part of the show.
I don't know how to
We
sing
need his
that.
instrument. Oh yeah, look at that.
I had to go as dark because there's no time in the stream for me to go layer by
You're just
layer.
committing. You're committing.
I'm committing to it.
Looks good.
Thank you. I'll add some greeny effects to it, perhaps.
Ooh yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again,
Switch
gonna
room.
jump back over here. I'm gonna jump back into this west scene just one more time. Change the background back to white. again, I just wanted to point out. Well, let's go through. Let's go through just kind of like layer by layer again. Oh, where's Wes? Hold on, everyone, hold your horses.
Wes has ran away.
There's like, where is it? So all these layers are named, which might give you the impression that I'm like a super organized person, but I'm not. Oh.
Matt, May asks, can you do backgrounds?
Can I do backgrounds and can you do character animation?
Yeah.
Yes, you can do character animation?
Yes, I can.
Oh.
It would just be a totally different short.
That makes me feel bad.
Ooh, there's an accident happening.
Thank you. It is the Stay Hydrated bot. I do have a glass of water here. That's great. I'm glad that there's a reminder.
So there's an accident happening with my tree, and I will make something out of it afterwards.
I'm gonna jump back down.
Okay.
To answer the question, I can barely do BGs. I usually leave that to the far more competent artists like Elaine to make everything look good.
So there's this glow going on that I didn't intend
that
to.
Could be like
it kind of makes it creepier.
Yeah, it's like a mossy clump or something.
So
it's like a growth.
I could get rid of that once the bottom layer is a little bit more dry by darkening everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind it right now. It's kind of cool. I might add that glow manually to every place else so it kind of matches.
Mine's Patch says, reminds him of Disney's 4 artists paint a tree. Have you seen that short, Elaine?
Oh!
It's like a similar technique, apparently.
It sounds very familiar.
It's like super old school.
And super good. I'm nowhere at that level. It's like...
I don't know, I think that looks awesome.
Thank you.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah. Okay, switch back.
Alright, we'll switch back. So, where do we go?
And that paper is £150, I believe? Not the 300. Someone asked.
I don't know anything about anything when it comes to like painting and BGs. This is like, here, I'm gonna open up a new file. Everyone hold on. When I paint BGs, or when I'm doing BGs, here, we'll both do a BG, okay?
Oh, you were gonna show them how you start drawing, Wes. But okay, we could do a BG.
Oh,
you do
yeah.
the rough background before when the.
Well, I was gonna say because
when
like,
I was working on this, you didn't have the backgrounds.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't. We just had the animatic. Normally, and I think like at least with TV animation and stuff, you always have like the background first, so you know exactly where the characters are supposed to be placed. But this time, we kind of just wung it. We wung it.
And then we'll look at the cuts from what your latest animation and be like, okay, roughly that's what it is. Mm-hmm. If I had more time, I could print out that animation, put it on paper, and make sure it matches.
Oh, yeah.
But I just eyeballed everything.
Yeah, we kind of had to like how many weeks would you say it took us to put this thing together?
I don't remember, 2
or 3, something like that. We kind of have to like, it's just like go mode. So, but yeah, as you saw the animatic from before, this is kind of like. This is kind of what we would get to start a scene. I usually would bring in reference, so I just like grabbed the concept stuff we were gonna talk about.
We could go to it right now.
Yeah! Alright.
This is what we get at first.
It's this one.
Yes. Concepts!
So again, we didn't have a lot of stuff, but we definitely had enough. We got Krampus here. I love Wes. He definitely like grew. I don't think I liked Wes at first until I started working on him, and I was like, oh, this guy's he's just like really cute, and his scene is just so sad.
I always thought you looked like Wes just because you drew him, and people tend to look like
the things that they
their drawings
draw.
kind of tend to look like them.
They get that personality.
Yeah, and he also has a bigger chin, and you have your beard. So I always thought your face shape looked like Wes.
That's what. There's something that confused. I think. I can't remember if these are, I think we ended up changing the, again, let me just, I don't have it open right now, but we ended up changing, like Wes had too much chin in the concept. Oh yeah, here we go.
Yes.
I'm just going to quickly switch back to the Cintiq, but if you notice in the old, in the concept stuff, Wes's face, I'm just gonna, it was like up here, like this is his smile, and like his cheeks were up here, and his nose. So he had this like ginormous chin.
Who is that?
But we ended up changing it to look more like it does in the game, which is kind of like cuter. But yeah, let me jump back to that. So yeah, this one he definitely his chin is a little bit more prominent. But we did change it. What else do we got? We got some good old Wilson concept.
Who did these drawings?
I was told yesterday, and I already forgot. I know that the bottom ones are
Jeff?
Yeah, I think they're actual keys brought in from one of the other trailers.
I think the top one was Aaron.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
These are so good. So
do you use them? Like, do you practice drawing the characters before you animate?
So that's what I was gonna say. Like, thankfully, like Wilson and Wes and like some of the other main characters have more reference to pull from, so you can kind of get a hang for them quickly. But the Wartalk stuff, which is like right here, this is actually pretty good. Like, this is like a front and back. We got some expressions in here, but like a lot of the time, because we're kind of a smaller team, we don't have like these full turnarounds for all the different characters. You kind of just have to like figure it out, and there's a lot of back and forth at the studio. Like, everyone, especially like on the team, everyone's talking to each other, and you're always sharing drawings and progress shots, so everyone can kind of chime in on that. And
would you say the design of the character is kind of like a combination of everybody?
I'm sure. I mean, I think this was done just by Jeff, but
in the, it kind of evolves as you
it does
animate.
evolve, yeah. So like, I know all of the shots definitely feel super collaborative.
Yeah.
I guess these are like all we can show. I don't know if we can talk about lore, but I don't really know too much. They kind of like keep all of us in just like separate cubicles where we can never talk to, so the lore doesn't spread around the studio.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, they're just like, you're locked in. You're not allowed to talk to anyone during the day. It's all super secret.
You're describing our studio to be super secret.
No, I just that was a joke. Please don't fire me, Klei. I've only been here 2 months. But yeah, no, I don't really know much about the lore.
Is that the 4 art? That's the 4 people.
Yeah, I think that's basically all we had, and then we had Krampus here. I think somebody asked earlier why we used the like yellow, because I know in the game he's got the white eyes.
Oh, you're right.
So we swapped to the yellow ones with actual pupils are also not like the actual pupils don't appear on too many characters on any of the characters, right? Like Krampus has pupils here.
Yeah. Does he have? Do they have pupils in the game?
I don't think so. I think it's just like the white glow of horror, of not starving.
So in the short, he's cuter.
Yeah.
He's friendlier.
Yeah, he can actually like see now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we definitely did reference the Grinch. Or I know I did. There was that scene of them like with them sneaking behind the trees. I literally just like pulled up the Grinch sneaking video and tried to emulate that same feel where he's
I didn't know that. How much research do you do before animating a scene?
I think specifically on these ones, since we wanted them to look more like kind of Grinchy, and even like the creepy smile.
Yeah.
That was also kind of very Grinch-like, where he does that like, it's so weird. It's like his like teeth like kind of like morph into play. It's like super nasty, but it really makes him look extra creepy. So in this case, I was looking at a lot of that stuff, and I love to add smears into my animation. I'm sure if you guys like tab through the short, you can see a bunch of them.
They're my favorite.
Yeah, I just like put them in wherever I can, and a lot of that stuff is from kind of the old cartoons. We're almost done, so I just wanted to jump quickly back to the watercolor.
Well, it's
just to see how it's looking.
It's gonna come around. I think paper is too wet for me to continue.
Yeah, do you think you'll finish this and then we can kind of like show it off to everyone?
Right now? In the next 1 minute?
No, just like in your own time.
In the own time I can post it.
Tape. You want to take off the tape?
Oh my gosh, but it's not done. The paper's still wrinkly. Don't take the tape off after the paper have dried.
All right.
Since it's
Yeah.
gotta flatten out. The tape is there so that it dries flat. That's the whole reason for it.
For sure.
All right, so
Thank you so much, everyone. Let's jump back to the camera. You guys have been awesome, especially for my first stream and your second stream.
Yes.
Everyone was like super friendly.
No.
Press 1 for tape.
I'll post the Klei could tweet it later. Yeah, no.
I don't know. Everyone wants the tape.
No, but one edge.
All right. We'll do one edge. All right, hold on. I'm switching back.
No, we're done.
All right, we're done.
Oh,
All
never
right.
mind.
Are we done? We're done.
We're hosting.
All right. We'll record a video. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are hosting Unorthodog right after the stream, so definitely check them out. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you guys all again. And go watch Unorthodog play DST. Thanks, guys. Which one?
Krampus and Wartox traipsed through the woods in the hopes to ruin goodness by being no good. They both schemed with glee, bearing grins of a fiend. Oh, you're right, they're quite wrong. They meant to be mean. With their bounty of loot, the haul was never enough. What fun to make glum by stealing one's stuff. But cruel-hearted fun still requires a heart, and that's where our two scoundrels rifted apart. You see, mischief and malice is a line drawn quite thin. And Wartox told Krampus, this is where this one must end. Battling one's nature is a most vicious affair. But virtue gives vigor so that one might make a good tear. And though Wartox felt better to have helped on the whole, his fiendish hap was still cursed to ensnare this foul soul. So be careful what you wish for. A lesson worth mention. For taking that which is not yours can lead to possession.